You got a Dolby Atmos soundbar, but it still sounds flat? Yeah, that's a problem. In this video, I'm breaking down the 5 most common Dolby Atmos soundbar mistakes people make in 2025 and how to fix them fast. If your setup doesn't sound cinematic yet, this is why. Before we start, hit like, subscribe to Interface Craft, and watch till the end, because one small detail could save you hundreds. And hey, comment what you want me to cover next. Actually read them. Mistake number 1, ignoring proper room placement. Let's start with the foundation, your room. Most people assume Dolby Atmos is about buying the right soundbar. But in reality, Atmos is about how your room reacts to sound. Atmos works by reflecting sound waves. Those up-firing drivers on your soundbar, they shoot sound upward, bounce it off your ceiling, and drop it down behind you to create that 3D bubble. But here's the problem. If your ceiling is too high, angled, or textured, that sound doesn't come back where it's supposed to. Imagine tossing a tennis ball into a slanted roof. It doesn't bounce straight back. It goes off somewhere random. That's exactly what happens when your ceiling doesn't cooperate. So instead of immersive sound raining down from above, you get sound scattered across the room, muddy, misaligned, and flat. And then there's the furniture issue. If your soundbar is sitting too low under the TV or pushed into a cabinet, those up-firing speakers have no room to project. It's like trying to shout from inside a box. So how do you fix it? Here's what most people never do, but should. Keep your soundbar 4 to 6 inches away from the wall, and make sure there's nothing blocking the top. Your ceiling should ideally be flat and between 8 and 12 feet high. That's the sweet spot for reflection. If you've got vaulted ceilings, try angling the soundbar slightly forward so the sound still hits a reflective surface. And your surround speakers? Keep them at ear level, slightly behind your main listening position, facing inward. Don't shove them into corners. Corners create distortion and uneven reverb. If you got acoustic panels, even better. They help focus those reflections so Atmos stays consistent no matter where you sit. Here's what it feels like when it's done right. Instead of sound coming from your speakers, it feels like sound exists all around you. Rain falls above your head. Helicopters circle overhead. Voices whisper from behind your shoulders. That's true Dolby Atmos. And it all starts with how your room is set up. So, before you upgrade your soundbar, upgrade your placement. Because a $500 soundbar in the right position will always outperform a $2,000 one in the wrong room. But don't get too comfortable, because even if your room setup is perfect, the next mistake is one that even tech experts keep making, and it's silently killing your Atmos potential. Mistake number 2, relying too much on auto sound modes. Here's the thing about auto mode. It sounds smart, right? Let your soundbar decide the best setting for you. Except, it's not that smart. In fact, most auto or adaptive modes on soundbars are designed to guess what you're watching, not to deliver true Dolby Atmos. They detect dialogue, action, or music, then dynamically shift EQ and virtual effects to make it sound better. But here's the hidden problem. When your soundbar makes those adjustments, it often turns off the Dolby Atmos processing layer altogether. So what you're hearing isn't spatial sound. It's just a virtual surround remix. And that means no true height channels, no upward reflections, no sound bubble. Let me put it this way. You think you're hearing Dolby Atmos, but really, your soundbar just converted a masterpiece into a stereo remix. The fix? Stop trusting auto. Go into your soundbar's audio settings manually. Look for Dolby Atmos, True Surround, or Bitstream, Dolby Digital Plus, and turn them on directly. If your TV supports eARC, make sure it's enabled too. That's the data channel that allows full bandwidth Dolby Atmos to pass through without compression. Then, choose your mode intentionally. Movies? Use Movie or Dolby Atmos Movie. Music? Go Stereo or Music mode. Gaming? Select Game or Atmos Game. Here's the simple truth. Atmos isn't one size fits all. Each mode has its own way of decoding how sound moves through space. By taking control yourself, you're finally hearing what the creator actually mixed, not what your soundbar guessed you wanted. And once you've heard the difference, you'll never go back to auto again. Because now your sound isn't just louder, it's alive. But mistake number 3, that's where even professionals get it wrong. And it's the kind of mistake that quietly kills Dolby Atmos at the source before it even reaches your soundbar. Mistake number 3, using the wrong HDMI port or cable. Alright, let's talk about the invisible problem, your HDMI setup. Most people plug in their soundbar and think it's HDMI, so it should just work. But here's the shocker. Not all HDMI ports or cables are created equal. If you're using the wrong port, you might not be getting Dolby Atmos at all. Most modern TVs have multiple HDMI ports, but only one of them supports eARC, the Enhanced Audio Return Channel. That's the only port capable of sending full, uncompressed Dolby Atmos from your TV to your soundbar. Plug your soundbar into a regular HDMI port, you'll get a downgraded version of Atmos, or sometimes no Atmos signal whatsoever. That's like buying a 4K TV and only watching in 720p. You're still getting sound, but not the sound you paid for. So, here's what to do. Look behind your TV and find the HDMI port labeled eARC or ARC. If there's both, choose eARC every time. Then, make sure your HDMI cable is ultra-high speed, HDMI 2.1 certified, not a cheap old one from a random drawer. Why? Because standard HDMI 1.4 cables can't handle the bandwidth that Dolby Atmos requires. You need the full pipeline for lossless audio to travel cleanly. No dropouts, no compression. And here's another hidden trap. If you're using streaming devices like Apple TV, Fire Stick, or a console like PS5 or Xbox, you need to connect them directly into your TV, not your soundbar. Unless your soundbar supports HDMI pass-through with full 4K HDR and Atmos decoding. Otherwise, your devices may send audio signals your soundbar can't interpret correctly, and you'll lose the immersive mix entirely. The difference this makes? Night and day. When you've got the right cable, the right port, and eARC properly enabled, Atmos doesn't just sound wide. It feels three-dimensional. The bass becomes tighter, dialogue becomes clearer, and effects like rain, helicopters, or footsteps move around you like they're alive. So before blaming your soundbar or your streaming service, check your HDMI, because that small piece of cable might be the biggest bottleneck in your setup. By the way, if you're finding this breakdown helpful, hit the like button. It really helps more people discover honest tech reviews like this. It tells me you want more deep dive content, not marketing fluff. Up next, mistake number 4 might surprise you, because it's not about cables, settings, or placement. It's something people do after unboxing that slowly destroys their Dolby Atmos experience over time, without even realizing it. Mistake number 4, ignoring firmware and app updates. Here's the truth no one talks about. Your soundbar isn't a finished product the day you unbox it. It's a living system, and like any smart device, it evolves if you let it. But most people don't. They plug it in, connect Bluetooth, and forget it even has software. That's mistake number 4, because firmware updates are the hidden backbone of modern Dolby Atmos performance. Every few months, brands like Samsung, LG, Sony, and Bose quietly roll out updates that fix audio sync issues, improve spatial mapping, and even enhance the way Atmos channels are decoded. I've seen soundbars sound completely different just for one update. One example, the LG S95QR had a major firmware patch that improved its rear speaker timing and subwoofer crossover performance. Before the update, the bass felt boomy. After, tight, precise, room-filling. It was like unlocking a brand new system. And that's the power of firmware. But here's the catch. Most of these updates aren't automatic. You have to connect your soundbar to Wi-Fi or use the manufacturer's app to check manually. If you skip that step, your soundbar might be running outdated decoding software from months ago, while the same model in another home sounds twice as good simply because it's updated. Think about that for a second. You spent hundreds or even thousands on Dolby Atmos, but without updates, you're still stuck in last year's sound engine. So here's what you do. Open the brand app, like Samsung SmartThings, Sony Home Entertainment Connect, or LG Soundbar app. Check for updates every month. And if your soundbar offers auto update, enable it. Because Dolby Atmos is evolving fast. New codecs, new bit streams, new tuning algorithms. And your device needs to keep up. Neglecting firmware is like owning a Ferrari and never changing the oil. It'll still run, but not the way it was meant to. Keep your gear alive. Keep it updated. That's how you unlock the true Atmos your soundbar was built for. But the next mistake number 5, isn't about what you forget to do. It's about what you expect your soundbar to do. And this one, it's a wake-up call. Mistake number 5, expecting Atmos to fix everything. This one hurts because it's the mistake we all make. You buy your first Dolby Atmos soundbar, plug it in, fire up Netflix, and you're waiting for your room to transform into an IMAX theater. But what happens? It sounds better, sure, but not mind-blowing. That's when disappointment kicks in. You start thinking, did I buy the wrong soundbar? Is Dolby Atmos overrated? No, you're just expecting Atmos to do everything. And that's not what it's built for. See, Dolby Atmos doesn't create sound, it places it. It's a 3D audio framework that tells your speakers where sound should move. But if your room has the wrong shape, or your ceiling's too high, or you're missing proper reflection angles, Atmos can't rewrite physics. Even the best soundbar, with 10 upward-firing speakers, needs a space that supports reflections. It needs walls, ceilings, and positioning to bounce sound accurately. If your room is open concept, or has glass panels, or uneven walls, Atmos reflections scatter, and that cinematic bubble collapses. The truth? Atmos is a system that amplifies good setups, but it can't save bad ones. So instead of expecting it to magically fix everything, think of Atmos as the final layer of realism, the finishing touch after good placement, correct HDMI setup, and a properly tuned environment. When everything lines up, placement, firmware, connections, and calibration, Atmos feels breathtaking. You can literally close your eyes and feel the room expand around you. You can hear the ceiling come alive. And that's when you realize Dolby Atmos was never the problem. The problem was expecting magic when what it really offers is precision. So don't expect your soundbar to perform miracles. Give it the right setup, and it'll reward you with sound that feels bigger than your walls. Now, before we wrap this up, there's one bonus mistake that too many people make, and it's got nothing to do with your cables, updates, or placement. It's about something much deeper, the psychology of sound. That's coming next. The bonus mistake, trusting marketing more than your ears. Bonus mistake, trusting marketing more than your ears. This might be the most important of them all, because it's not about technology, it's about perception. See, the audio industry runs on hype. Every year, there's a new game-changing Dolby Atmos system. More channels, bigger numbers, flashier boxes, and people fall for it because that's how soundbars are sold. But here's the truth. Sound isn't defined by numbers. It's defined by experience. You can't read sound. You have to feel it. And yet, most people trust marketing blurbs more than their own ears. They'll buy a soundbar with 5.2.8 channels and call it a win, even if it's tuned poorly, mismatched to their room, or using cheap drivers. Meanwhile, another soundbar with just 5.1 channels, but a smarter tuning profile and better engineering, will destroy in clarity, imaging, and realism. Because real Atmos performance isn't about quantity. It's about quality of placement. Nakamichi proved that. Sony proved that. Even budget players like Hisense are catching up, not by adding more drivers, but by designing smarter acoustic paths and better DSPs. So here's the point. Don't let flashy box art or YouTube ads make your decisions. Listen, compare, trust your own experience. If a $600 soundbar in your room sounds better than a $1,200 model, guess what? That $600 system is your winner. Marketing can't tell you what feels cinematic, only your ears can. And in 2025, where AI-enhanced audio and spatial processing are exploding, the biggest skill you can have as a listener isn't buying more tech. It's understanding what great sound actually feels like. Because once you do, you stop chasing specs and start chasing emotion. That's when you go from hearing sound to experiencing it. Final outro, interface craft closing. So here's what we learned today. Dolby Atmos isn't just a logo. It's a system that demands your attention. It rewards precision. It punishes laziness. Ignore placement, calibration, updates, or realistic expectations. And even the best Atmos bar will sound flat. But get it right, and your living room transforms. You stop just watching a movie and start living inside it. Because the future of sound isn't about more speakers or channels. It's about smarter engineering, better tuning, and a deeper connection to how sound interacts with your space. And that's exactly what we explore here on Interface Craft, the future of home audio made simple and real. If this video helped you fix your setup or rethink your Dolby Atmos experience, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs better sound, and make sure to subscribe, because the next video, we're diving into the AI-powered soundbars that might completely change how home audio works forever. This is Interface Craft, and I'll see you in the next deep dive.